All right. Okay. So, hello everyone and welcome. Today we are here to exchange strategies and insights on course design with a focus on various fields within English for specific purposes. Before we begin, I'd like to invite each member of the group to introduce themselves and share the specific field of ESP that their course design focuses on. You can introduce yourself.
Okay, hello, my name is Andres Guevara, and my strategy in this case is English for academic purpose course. And continue.
My name is Marta Cecilia Vivas, and I choose the scenario English for occupational purposes, and is focused on for students planning to study English in different countries.
Hi, my name is Olanji Martinez, and I have chosen the scenario for English for tourism and hospitality that is designed for professionals like hotel staff, tour guides, restaurant workers, and travel agents who use English in the job.
All right, great. And in my case, my name is Luisa Fernanda Arce, and my course is focused on healthcare professionals. So we are going to listen first to Andres' strategy. So Andres, we listen to your strategy first.
Okay, thank you, partner. In my case, design for students planning to study in English-speaking countries. This course focuses on the academic skills is necessary for the users in the education. In first case, a review of the key documents from this scenario include description, student profile, needs, and analysis and academic objectives. This information obtained from private studies gives on the English for academic purpose and international assessment given such as TOEFL or IELTS. The next step must interview with typical students to understand their languages, challenge and expectation that these students. First, I have 20 questions. Survive is create to identify the students, the needs and the problems that these students. Um, After this diagnostic assessment to identify the common weakness, writing, listening, discussion participation. In this case, we did the brainstorming. Mm, these students may face various difficulties such as understanding readings and complex academic writing. Um, these courses have a diverse profile and present wide range of academic language needs.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. So I think that was all your course design, right?
Mhm.
All right. Okay, Andres, thank you so much. So maybe now we can proceed to listen to Marta's strategy. So we'll listen to you.
Okay, yes, the scenario is about a company, an international company, uh, focuses on employees that work in with different needs. For example, participating in meetings, giving presentation, negotiation deals, writing. Another skill is writing professional emails and reports. In a company, there are different functions, and it's necessary to the application on a strategy about diagnostic. My tool is a questionnaire because it's important to take information about needs, about wants, about strengths and weaknesses. in the first part, it's important, but yes, to know what participants or how many participants are in the company. Other topic is what is the range, the age range to focus the planning after the diagnosis, and other personal or intention about uh, what what they need or what they want. For example, what is your current level on English? It's important to know what happened about their knowledge in English. Uh, other topic is the necessities. And other question is about necessities. For example, what specific tasks do you perform in English? What documents do you write most often? It's important. What is the function, a specific of function for each one student and each one employee, each one worker. The next topic is the lacks. It's important to know what are the difficulties about your function or your interactive with others in other in foreign language. For example, in which of following areas do you feel less confident, or would you like to improve your speaking skill? This point is important because the motivation is the most important to the learning process. Uh, it doesn't matter if they are working on employees. Maybe there are in a company there are many different levels in English, but it's important to identify what are they, what are the needs about other employees that need to improve different results in a company. And the ones other question is about the ones. For example, what would you like to improve first? It's important to take in account this in the planning before, after that, after this diagnosis. What is your personal goals with this course? Yes, to identify the ones. Learning needs. It's important in this what time or how many hours per week they can use in the learning, in the English learning. The proposes 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or four. Maybe for these employers, the company is interested in a short time. Some the students that take this course in a short time improve your English level. Maybe 4 hours in a week. Which of the following tools have you feel? Maybe the people are in different places and implement virtual environments is important in this course. And the strategy is focused on real life situation because they are working at the moment. They are working in a company. Other strategy is task-based learning, yes, or teamwork, or different environments and different options to improve their skills. The skills are in a specific speaking, but other important in this company, other important top skill to improve is the writing skills, to improve the writing skills because they have to write different documents, different reports in English, and it's important in a high level because they are working in an international company. The ICT interaction is very important in this strategy. Yes, this is my strategy. There are different options or environments to improve their skills. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Marta. So, okay, I think we have taken notes about your strategy. All right, so now we will listen to Naslie's strategy. So, whenever you're ready.
Okay, as I mentioned before, the course or the scenario that I have chosen is English for Tourism and Hospitality. Um, that it's going to be a program especially designed for professionals in the industry, such as hotel staff, tour guides, restaurant workers, and travel agents. So, to start this strategy or to create this strategy, it is important to identify the student profile and the needs. So, we know that our learners are going to come from diverse backgrounds and often have different levels of English proficiency. However, the real challenge is like the limited industry vocabulary, difficulty understanding various English accents, and a lack of confidence in real-time conversations with guests. So to address these challenges, it is important first to develop a clear confidence and professional communication skills. So it is necessary to set first some goals which are very specific to obtain results at the end of the course. For example, like handle guest interactions with professionalism and confidence, communicate clearly in job-related situations, use the right vocabulary and expressions for tourism and hospitality, respond diplomatically to customer complaints, improve their understanding of international English accents, and write professional emails and reports for the work. Why? Because these are the different tasks that they're developing in this kind of work. So to make it happen, my strategy is focused on a skill-centered approach with a strong focus on task-based learning and communicative language teaching. As we are talking about real context, we are talking about a real job. It is not necessary not to focus on grammar or like writing exercises. No, it's going to be more like I am giving you a real context. I am giving you the different situations that you need to face when you're working. So in order to um, develop a real get curves for them, it is necessary to implement in our methodology role plays and simulations that repeat authentic work situations, gamified activities like a hoods or escape room style challenges, and listening and pronunciation drills to help them deal with different accents and improve clarity. So, in order to um, like have better results and implement these methodologies, it is necessary also to implement authentic material. That means that we need to draw from real industry documents, video case studies showing real interaction, e-speakers, books, and digital tools, including pronunciation apps and interactive listening platforms. So, and at the end, obviously, we need to set as well the assessment. So, as we are having a process, it is necessary to know what we want and that it's going to be linked to the goals we are setting. So that's it.
All right, Naslie, thank you so much for sharing your strategy. Okay, so now let me go ahead and share mine. Second. Okay, yes. So do you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
All right, very good. Okay. Okay, so as I mentioned before, my course is focused on health professionals. So, well, I'll walk you through a strategy for designing an English course tailored for this field. I focus on a case using a fictional data from a single student who is a nurse working in a public hospital. And I'll show how I got the student information and how I organized it. So I previously created a data collection tool, which it was a questionnaire. I shared in the forum, and well, to understand the student profile and the needs. And through it, I learned that my student, who I'm going to call it like Maria, has 3 years of nursing experience and a B1 level in general English. She uses English weekly, mainly with when speaking with patients, but faces challenges with medical vocabulary, pronunciation, and confidence, especially during patient interaction. So that's the profile that I have for my student. Mm, The needs analysis. She needs to improve the communication to clinical situations. For example, explaining treatments, understanding documentation, interacted with colleagues. How is her method? She mentioned in the questionnaire that she prefers hands-on learning, role playing, well, some short activities because she doesn't have so much time. So the lessons must be flexible to fit her tight schedule. The goals, what are the objectives? I have different objectives. So first, to help Maria conduct patient interviews confidently, explain medical conditions accurately, write and interpret medical documents, participate in professional discussions, and improve pronunciation and fluency in real life scenarios. I chose a skill-centered approach using two different methodologies. The first one is the task-based learning, that if you remember is the one that you conduct step by step. And the other one is the communicative language teaching. So this means that Maria will engage in a realistic healthcare situations to practice the language in her context now. I consider that it's a practical method that mirrors her actual job task. The course components. I'm going to focus it on four components. Simulated consultations. So she will simulate an interview or emergency responses or well, situations like that. And pronunciation drills that, to repeat all over again medical phrases that are not so easy to pronounce. Case studies with real patient scenarios, and interactive activities using multimedia tools. The materials and the resources. I use real medical reports, video simulations, and online pronunciation tools to reinforce learning through authentic materials. So since this is the theoretical part of the strategy, I would like to show you how I will conduct the lesson number 1 of my course. So on the lesson number 1, I will focus it on introduce herself professionally and gather basic patient information in a simulated hospital setting. I will choose a target language, just a couple of sentences, a couple of words such as allergies, reason for visit, current medications, emergency contact, expressions like what brings you in today, are you currently taking any medication, do you have any allergies? Yes, those basic expressions that are going to help my student. And in the lesson number 1, I will use 3 kind of materials. The first one, a patient intake form. That is not an intake form, it's more like a hospital admission form. I will show you that tool in a minute. Short videos example of a nurse taking patient information, and pronunciation tools. The idea is to conduct the class in only 40 minutes because my student has a tight schedule. So in the warm-up, I will make an icebreaker question. I will ask my student to say, to respond this question. Or what do you usually say when grading a patient? So my student will give any comment. I don't know. And after that, I will show this short video to show her how can she greet a patient in English. So I will show you the video just to record it here.
Um, Lastly, maybe the sound isn't working very well in this video. I can
Tell me,
listen. No sound in the video.
you don't listen it? Oh
No,
my
no,
God.
no, I can listen.
Let me check what's going on. All right, let me try it again. Let me know if you listen it now.
How to greet a patient.
Yes,
Yep.
Remember
Thank
to respect the patient's privacy. Knock on the door before entering.
Hello, Miss Angelica. Yes, hi, Brittany. I'm going to be your medical assistant today.
Make eye contact when greeting the patient.
Can I have you verify your name, please? Angelica Marquez. Okay, and your date of birth? August the 14th, 1985.
Patient identification is extremely important. Please ask the patient to state their name as well as their date of birth.
Verify your name, please. It's Angelica Marquez. And your date of birth? August the 14th, 1985. Okay, I'm going to get started on your vital signs. I'm going to go ahead and let the doctor know that you're here, and I'll be right back. All right, thank you.
Alert the physician that the patient is ready by using a flag or light system.
Edumed, your final step to success. Set.
Okay, so that was the whole video. So after watching the video, I will ask my student, hey, what do they say? What is similar from what you do? From what's different from what you do? So the idea is to start engaging the student in a conversation.
Good morning, ma'am.
Then in the intermediate part, I will try to take only 28 minutes in this section because this is task-based learning methodology. So I make it into a step, no? Step 1, step 2, step 3. So in the step 1, I will try to make a review of the vocabulary, which was the vocabulary that I mentioned before, and in repetition, repeating and stressing key phrases, no? So any allergies, current medication, so check how she pronounced it. Then in the step number 2, I will make a listening practice, which is again a short video. I will mention before that my material is focused on simulated videos. So this is one of the simulated videos that we can use it, or we can create it with artificial intelligence, which is super helpful. And it's a nurse taking patient information. So after watching the video, I will ask some questions to my students. So let's see.
My name is Elena, and I'll be taking your information before the doctor sees you. Can you tell me what brought you here today?
I've had chest pain since yesterday afternoon. It's been getting worse.
I'm sorry to hear that. Have you had this pain before?
No, this is the first time.
Do you have any allergies?
Yes, I'm allergic to penicillin.
Thank you. Are you currently taking any medication?
Just aspirin for headaches.
Have you ever had surgery?
Yes, I had an appendectomy 5 years ago.
Okay, do you smoke or drink?
I don't smoke, but I occasionally drink on weekends.
Do you have health insurance?
Yes, through my employer.
What's the name of the insurance provider?
Corsanitas.
Thank you, Mrs. Jimenez. The doctor will be with you shortly.
That's it. I can make questions of true or false options, no? So I can ask my student, she has experience in chain pest, chain pain. I'm sorry. So she can say, yeah, true or false. Or she's allergic to aspirin, true or false. Or if she had a surgery before, true or false. And well, some questions like that. In the step number 3, I will make a speaking practice, and I think this is going to be the most important part because I would like to encourage my students' fluency. So I have 2 options. I can make that I can make my student to be the nurse, of course, and I can play as the teacher. Or I can use a tool, a digital tool, which is gonna be this one. This is a tool that you can download it on Google. It's an extension, and you can speak to the artificial intelligence. So, for example, if you would like to speak about, talking to a patient and create a conversation, so the person is going to start the conversation, and the student can interact with the app. It's a great tool. After that, I can create, or I can also implement filling the patient admission. So in this part, she can use the writing skills. I have prepared this hospital admission form. This is a translation that I have made because, I'm a translator and I work for some legal firms. So this is an authentic material. This is real. She can use it as a base to practice, to speak, to ask for main people's information, the patient information, the conditions, and the teacher can provide feedback about it. I cover it with yellow color, to protect my client's information. And that's it. After I will wrap it up with a reflection. Maybe I can ask my student how she felt, what was difficult, maybe repeat 3 or 4 phrases that maybe it was like difficult for her to pronounce it, and leave a homework. Like maybe you can record yourself for 1 minute, giving your introduction of herself as a nurse, something like that. As the assessment strategy, so only 2 factors: the formative and the summative. So in the formative, like providing feedback during the role plays, and as a summative, I can make another simulated patient interviews or written documentation task. And lastly, in the variables or the implementation, I also consider key variables. No, first, Maria's limited time, the tech access, the hospital support for training. So yeah, I designed the course to be flexible, culturally aware, and adaptable to different levels of English proficiency. And I think that's it. Thank you. Stop sharing this. Okay. So now I think we can provide conclusions of our conversation. Maybe what things did you find in common between our strategies? What things are totally uncommon? So I would like to listen to you guys.
Firstly, we can mention that everybody is focusing on the necessity of our students have, yeah, because it's not going to be a program that is developing just learning English. It's going to be focused on what they really need and what they really want. Um, the goals that they pretend to achieve. So necessity is something that we have in common.
Yes, there are points in common. For example, the interactions. The interaction in real life context are in common in the different strategies shown today. But I think that the main strategy is communicative language teaching with role play, simulation, and all our nationalist strategies show and develop. She develops all a strategy at the beginning, analyzes at the end, with planning the steps in the lessons, in different lessons. But it's important. But today, nowadays, ICT interaction is very important in a specific, for example, through different challenge games. It's important the interaction in other platforms that provide other options for the students in a flexible schedule at the time that the students can develop your own process. It's important that to give different options, but the most important for me strategy is common language teaching. And other in the other lesson at the beginning, maybe it's important focus on the vocabulary. For example, in my case, the phrasal verbs are very important in the business context, and they are very difficult to study at the beginning. And the interaction is very important. Uh, that's basically learning to apply this vocabulary learned before.
Yeah, because at the beginning, what we try is to give them like the tools to implement it in the activities we are providing them. Like first, you need to know this vocabulary, and then I'm going to give you the situation, and it's what everybody's looking for.
Yes, I said in this case, or in my opinion, the most common in this case, each program is see the needs the students, uh, how they providing or provide them the tools for each students for the needs, depends the weaknesses. For example, the listening comprehension, writing skills, participation in academic discussions, oral presentation skills, or depends the each program and each strategy.
Great.
Other point, important point is at the beginning to identify what is the lacks, what is the difficulties that specific students have, because this is the starting point to develop our planning, our lesson.
Yeah. I can say as a conclusion that, as you mentioned, like looking forward, the needs maybe will change the path of the course. So, for example, if the needs of the student will be totally different, probably the course is going to be focused to another specific aspect. Or maybe if my student it's only 2 or 3 students, also I will focus more on that personalized cases, different from the big groups that, if I'm not mistaken, from the courses that you prepared are like designed for big groups. In my case, it was only for one student. So that's something maybe that I found different. Some of you like make courses designed in linguistics needs. In my case, it was more like communicative. Yeah. Some other mentioned that you guys are preparing a course for speaking better than writing, because that's maybe writing is something that they don't need. In the case of, I think it was the hospitality, the tourism, no? It was the tourism that you mentioned that it was better the speaking rather than the writing. In my case, both. Like she needs to interact with patients, but also writing medical reports. So that's gonna be something that will focus our courses
Yes.
based on the students' needs.
Yes, it depends in your case, but for example, in business, both speaking and writing. I'm writing because many documents, many reports in business, the employees have to send to 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 deal different negotiations, and it's important both speaking and writing. But the most difficult skill to improve is, of course, speaking.
Normally, yeah, they struggle
Yes.
with pronunciation, with speaking. So yeah, very good. Any other conclusion maybe you would like to provide? Yeah, research. All right.
Yes.
So I
The conclusion for me is the motivation. Motivate the people is the most important in their learning process to get to for the success of the planning of the lesson.
to keep the student motivated throughout the course. Yeah, maybe because maybe English is not something that they really love. It's just because they need it. They need it to have contact with their clients, with their patients, or whatever their audience is. So it's important to have a motivated. Yeah. All right. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for sharing your strategies with the whole group. So with this information, I think we can wrap the meeting up.
Yes. Nice
Thank you so much.
to meet you. Yes. Very good students, very good strategies, and let's start our planning. Maybe Luisa is develop the planning, but in my case, I focus in the analysis, but maybe in the other tasks, we share many opinions with you. Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you, guys.
I'm waiting for me.
Guys, so stop the recording.